Good evening, everybody. This is Robin with another edition of Horror Pop After Midnight. And my guest tonight is filmmaker Diane Foster. How's it going, Diane?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
Pretty good. I just saw your bloody, gory comedy, Kentucky Fried movie style film, Easter Bloody Easter. That film was so wild, and it's also your first feature directing as well.
Yes, it is. And thank you so much. I love that you say Kentucky Fried Movie. That's hilarious. It's my feature film debut, and we had just a heck of a good time making it.
You sure did. And the writer's Allison LaBelle, who plays Mary Lou, the queen bee that you want to hate and like at the same time. Man, she nailed that role good. Sometimes I just wanted to strangle her myself just for the hell of it.
That is hilarious. Yeah, Allison is so amazingly talented, and Mary Lou is one of those characters that you love to hate.
So, she's the writer of this film. So, how'd you guys get together? Since you were directing, she was writing it. You guys were behind the camera, in front of the camera. How'd you guys come together to make this film?
Yeah, so Allison and I went to acting school together, and we've been friends for a very long time. And we had done a play together in both Los Angeles and San Francisco, and we wanted to sort of just keep working together. And we were going to continue doing the play, but then the pandemic hit. So we couldn't do, live theater. And because of my background in independent film and a lot of producing over the years, I said, hey, I would really like to make a movie. Let's do one together. And she has such a quirky personality, and she's hilarious, like who she is as a person. And she called me a couple weeks later and said, okay, I wrote the script, and has a giant jackalope and demon bunnies and happens at Easter. I was like, hell yeah, let's do it.
It's fun, and I love the quirky characters in the film. And one of my favorite characters in the film, I love Sam, the conspiracy theorist. That guy is so wild and funny, man. He kept me on the edge of my seat, and I was busting up laughing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we love Sam. He is such a great character, played by Zach Canner, who is also an amazing actor. We had so much fun. I mean, I don't know if you could tell, but like when we were actually making the film, we just had such a blast doing it that there would be days where we would just laugh and laugh over and over again on set. And it would be actually hard to get through some of the scenes because we were just laughing at each other. And, Sam is one of those characters that you have to love because he's so endearing, and he just knows exactly who he is with that tinfoil hat. And he really believes in everything that he's saying. And you got to love a character that is so committed like that.
Yeah, and your character, where you go in because you're looking for your husband who's missing, and then you find this pickup truck, covered in blood, which really keeps you on the edge of your seat. You don't know where it's going to go at, and then all of a sudden you see these like demonic like puppet bunnies with red eyes, coming everywhere, devouring everything during this Easteropalooza bloodbath, spraying everywhere. Man, those little rabbits were creepy.
Yeah, they were really, really fun to work with. Jesse Velez of Raptor House Effects made those bunnies for us. And he is responsible for The Thing in the show Wednesday on Netflix. He's the one who actually created that animatronic hand. And he's so brilliant, so talented. And we loved working with those bunnies so much. Like, we just had such a blast with them because they're so fun and they're so funny and creepy and scary all at the same time. And we filmed a lot of stuff with them, and, being in the edit room, trying to figure out, how we would utilize them the best. It was really a lot of fun to put that together, and we really enjoyed working with them a lot.
So did you get to keep one of the bunnies?
I have them all. I have them all, and I have them sort of, they're all like wrapped nicely, including the jackalope suit and all the bunnies. Like, I have it ready to go because we want to make more movies. So, you know, they'll make an appearance again for sure in the next film.
Yeah, let's talk about the jackalope. Who created the costume and the practical effects on that costume to make it look so lifelike and creepy?
Yeah, so the jackalope suit was created by a number of different special effects artists. Alexandra Baelish, Ashley Stansberry, Lydia Morales, and Nick Reisinger. And they're all special effect artists. I spoke with Alexandra Baelish, and I said to her, Allie, I want to have him be hilarious, but also scary. And I think that we did a really good job of committing to those two things, because as scary as he is, he's also hilarious looking. So they made the whole suit. They fashioned it to the actor so that, you know, he could move. It was important to hire someone. Jamie Klein plays the Jack physically, and Miles Cooper does his voice. So we needed a character actor who could play that. And Jamie Klein is a monster actor. He does a lot of stuff at Universal. So he's very used to having costumes on that are very heavy, and still having that physicality. Because the jackalope needed to run, he needed to jump and hop and do all those things. So we needed someone who was physically able to do those things. And he did such a fantastic job. And it was also, we shot in August of 2021, and it was really, really hot. So he was just dripping wet, the moment he had that costume on for more than 20 minutes. So we kept the fans going on him, and we had ice packs and did all that.
Yeah, let's talk about the crazy, like, creepy Easter eggs in the film, too. Who made those and painted those creepy eggs?
Yeah, so we had an incredible art department. Haley Coleman-Pogge and Wah Deep, they were both the production designers, prop masters. They took care of all of that stuff. And again, we really wanted to make those elements and those little things in the film really stand out and be able to, see something that we just really haven't seen before in the genre. And they did such a good job between the Easter basket that Lance lays in during Jeannie's dream, all the Easter eggs. They created the entire Easter Palooza when everyone is, running around. So we really wanted to make this town of Wahlberg seem real, and that these people were really living here, these zany, crazy characters.
Yeah, let's talk what you just mentioned. Let's talk about the dream sequence between Lance and Jeannie. That was a pretty good shot. I love the pan shots in that film, how like all connected. It really made the viewer feel like you were really going through that dream trip with Jeannie while you were seeing Lance in the film. I just love that dream sequence. I thought was a good shot part in the film.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of the movie. I love the look of it. Alexandra Traub, who is our cinematographer, she did such a amazing job. She likes to go by Alexa, so I'll call her Alexa. She's an incredible cinematographer, and we really talked about that dream sequence. I was a fan of Freddy and Nightmare on Elm Street, and I love all the dream sequences and stuff. So for me, it was kind of like my ode to that, being inspired by that as a viewer, and then kind of taking that into my own film. And it was really amazing to film. We really wanted to make it feel creepy, that you were there with her, and give that sort of that eeriness to it as well, so that it wasn't just the blood and the jumps and the laughs, that we also had a little bit of mystery and kind of taking people along on that creepy stuff. Because Jeannie, her whole thing is she's constantly waking up in places, and she has these dreams. So we needed to create that element of like make it haunting.
I think so too. Now let's talk about the leather jacket Jeannie puts on with the great art design. Who made that art design in the back of that jacket? I think it's pretty fresh, and I wouldn't mind having that art design, like inked on my arm somewhere. That would be a great tattoo.
I agree. That would be a really cool tattoo. I love that jacket so much. So our costume designer, Caroline Allender, she got that jacket. She had an artist make that. I believe the woman's name is Peggy, and I don't remember her last name right now. I apologize for that. But Caroline, had her create this image on the back of it that would be our jackalope. Megan's idea of jackalope, this kind of crazy, weird bunny and with blood and everything. It was really cool. And we still have that too as, part of all the costumes and stuff for the film. And I really loved it. She did such a phenomenal job. And, I think we had to have two of them. We made doubles for that because it was going to be covered in blood. At some point. So we had to do that with quite a few of the costumes of getting doubles because whether they were going to be ripped or shredded or, poured with blood on them, we also had to have them, prior to being bloody. A lot of that stuff, sometimes you don't shoot that in order. Sometimes you have to go back and shoot things days later. So we needed to have the costume fresh for when it wasn't in blood.
Yeah, now let's talk about all the blood and gore. There was blood everywhere. So how much fun did you have when you were covered in blood? You were covered in blood a lot.
I know. Those are some of my favorite parts. I absolutely love it. I will say I enjoy getting bloody. I really do. There's something about it. It's almost like an out-of-body experience in a way. And I feel like that moment, especially, sort of in the finale there in the woods, and I won't give anything away, any spoiler alerts, but I will say when we were filming that moment, the entire cast and crew was sort of on the ledge there watching that part go down. And it was almost like being at a rock show because afterward they were all like screaming and yelling like, ah, when the blood was coming out. So it was pretty cool. I felt a little bit like Ozzy Osbourne, I must say.
Yeah, and plus, you were covered in blood, you had that kick-ass jacket, and you weren't too bad with that katana sword. That katana sword was wild.
Thank you so much. It was really heavy, and I worked with my stunt coordinator on how to actually handle it, how to make sure it looked like, I was being able to use it. Didn't realize how heavy it was, and definitely got my workout in utilizing that thing because, you can't just kind of throw it around. It's not light by any means. It's heavy, and you also want to make sure that you're doing it in a way that looks like you know how to use this sword. So it was a real blast, doing that whole moment and really like working on it, having the rehearsals to do it so that I was bringing authenticity to it.
Yeah, so when you were using that katana, getting ready to fight the jackalope, the demonic, entity, demon, bunny, or whatever you call them, when you had that katana, when you were going through your mind, were you thinking like the Highlander saying there only could be one and just get ready to just get down to business?
Pretty much, yeah. I think what's cool about that moment is throughout the film, Jeannie kind of finds herself.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's an empowering moment. And she finally takes on that idea of what Megan was doing. And, obviously the whole idea of her wearing Megan's jacket and kind of taking over that space and doing it essentially for her friend Megan and for the whole town. So it was a great moment. I feel, I also wanted the fans of the genre, especially, when she turns around and she's walking away and we have really crazy cool guitar going, that was created by an amazing artist named Juno. She is an incredible guitarist, and we brought her into the studio and I was like, I just want you to go crazy. Like, we showed her, the footage of the film and she was playing to it. And I was just like, go nuts and do a crazy riff on that guitar. And yeah, she had a blast doing that.
Yeah, let's talk about the songs. It has an awesome soundtrack, a lot of catchy songs like the bunny hop dance. It kind of paid a tribute to like the Rocky Horror Show, how you guys were doing the bunny dance. I had the Rocky Horror vibes by watching that scene when everybody was doing the bunny dance.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's exactly what I want people to feel. I was very inspired by Rocky Horror, and that's sort of like our time warp, I guess you could say. And, it was really fun to do that. I choreographed that because I was a dancer. I was a professional dancer my whole life, and then, got into film. And I just thought it would be something so fun because every year these people wait for this moment of Easter Palooza to do this dance. And I was like, it needs to feel like something they know. They could do it with their, blindfolded. It has to feel like, essentially for them, like the Macarena or something that you would do at a wedding or something. And we really enjoyed doing it. Everyone, came to rehearsals. We rehearsed all that prior to ever getting onto set. And the music is just so darn good in it. I mean, Mark Vogel is a dream composer to work with. I really love working with him. It's very easy to work with. I know what I want, and he knows how to execute it. So it's really the perfect combination together. And we really wanted to create music and the sounds of the film that lived on as their own, as a character, really, in the film. And I think that's what we do, and I really hope people enjoy, download the soundtrack and bunny hop dance themselves.
Yeah, now let's talk about your song that got released for the very first time. Let's talk about Honey Bunny. I kind of like that song.
Thank you so much. I like it too. It was really fun to make, and I grew up as sort of a musical theater kid. I was a musical theater nerd, and I really love singing. So this was an opportunity to showcase that in this movie. And I had told Mark, I said, I want to have a song that's sort of like the Santa baby of Easter.
Yeah.
And that's how we came up with Honey Bunny. And we made a music video of it, which is very like a la Fabulous Baker Boys, Maryland style, things that I'm really inspired by. And I just love it so much. And people are really enjoying it. And that makes me happy. And we actually have a remix that we just made, going to also release as well. And that's more of like it's the song, but it's got like a club beat to it and more of a dancing thing. So people can play it at clubs and stuff. So that's going to be really fun to have, just hear it and watch people dance to it and stuff.
Yeah, so the soundtrack's on Spotify, is that correct?
Yep, you can get it on Apple Music, Spotify, and anywhere that you listen to music. It's available right now. You just type in Honey Bunny, Diane Foster, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on it, and that makes me so happy because I love singing, and it's it's a part of me that I just happy to share. So thank you all for listening and liking and enjoying.
You know something? That's what I'm gonna do because I have a side job on the side. It's called my fun money job. I DoorDash on the side for the fun money, and that's a great cruising song. So I'm gonna bust that when I'm like cruising, dropping off stuff. I'm gonna play it real loud. I want to see how the people react to it and going, "What's he listening to?"
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. That would be so cool. Thank you.
Now, you were also talking about the film. There's like a little teaser. So is there going to be like a part 2? Are we going to see more of the jackalope, more of the origin story of the characters in the film and seeing where they're going? I mean, I would like to see it. I mean, I love these type of films because this film was like blood, gory, catchy music soundtrack. I love the cheesiness, and the cool thing about the film, you didn't have to take it seriously to watch it, which I really enjoyed about it. It's just a fun film.
Exactly. Thank you so much for saying that. That's exactly why I made it. I want to take people away for an hour and a half just to have a good time, to laugh their asses off and just be entertained. And I think the last couple of years has been so hard in the world, and we all deserve that. And I think that that's my job as an entertainer and a filmmaker is I just want to entertain people and make them, take their cares away for an hour and a half. And that's really what we wanted to do with this film. The film is very aware of itself. It knows how corny it is. It knows how cheesy it is. And I love films that are self-aware. I'm like, those are the kinds of films that I like to watch, and exactly the kind of films that I like to make. So I really appreciate that you got that, and that came across, because that's exactly what we're trying to do. This is a movie that you can watch with your friends, your family, and just have a good time. Just, you want to have a fun night. Like, this is the perfect movie to watch.
All right. Since this is all about a horror podcast, let's get into some other questions. You mentioned you're like real huge into, Nightmare on Elm Street. So what lured you or seduced your way to like Freddy Krueger and the whole Nightmare on Elm Street films? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think what I really like about it is that he was a character that spoke to us, unlike Michael and unlike Jason. And even though I love those films, I like slashers, period. Like, I just like those films. I think I love the idea of a bad guy killing people who should be killed. So I think, though, with Freddy, it was the opportunity of this killer to actually be talking to his victims. And I thought that was fascinating, and I loved it. And, one of the reasons why the jackalope talks in our film. I love that interaction of this idea of this almost like really crazy villainous character talking to regular people. And that's what I loved about Freddy. And I just think that they did that whole series incredibly well. It was frightening, and I still am terrified of Freddy. But hopefully someday I can meet Robert Englund, because he's such a badass. So.
Yeah, I've met him. He is such a badass. And what you were mentioning about the jackalope, but thinking about it after I see the film, I can go back to Jackalope. You can kind of tell you did add a little bit of a Freddy to it. The demeanor and the mannerisms. It kind of does remind of Freddy, but in a rabbit form.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think I was just inspired by that, because I love that he speaks in the film. And I think when a killer does that, gives them an opportunity to share a lot more to the story. So that's really where that inspiration came from.
I really enjoyed the editing in the film. The editing was pretty good. It was a solid edit in the film, which I really appreciated.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Nancy Foster, who is the editor, who also happens to be my older sister, and what a joy to be able to work with my sister. On my first film, honestly, there's nothing better. And I was so appreciative of that experience, because she is so talented, and we work incredibly well together. And, we really got the pacing of the film and those comedic elements, and letting things sit, letting things be pushed, taking those pauses, taking those moments. So it was just a joy to work with her. She's very collaborative. She's not afraid to try things. If, I'm like, I just want to see this maybe, 2 frames longer or whatever. She was totally willing to go there and try some of my crazy ideas. And we would always come back to both really, just being totally positive about it, and like, yep, this feels right.
I think so too. And now you can watch Easter Bloody Easter on social platforms right now as well. Before it went on to social platforms, when you guys made the film, you and Allison, did you guys ever thought about, did you guys send it through the film festival circuit first, or you guys just made it and got the distribution deal and just decided to stream it on the platforms?
Yeah, so the plan from this all along was actually not to do film festivals. Not because I had anything against them at all. I love going to film festivals. But we always had the intention of making it the film and then going direct to distribution. With my company, Wally Bird Productions, I have been at tons of film festivals, over the years, and I love them so much. But I felt that this was an opportunity, especially because a holiday horror film, that we knew that we really in our own lane. There are definitely other films, around Easter, but nothing quite like this.
Yeah.
And we just knew that we had an open lane. And I didn't want to take that to festivals. I felt like audiences worldwide really deserve to have it direct to them, right to their home. And we have a great partner in Gravitas. They came on board. They loved the film. We actually had quite a few distributors want to put the film out. I think, again, because we carved our own lane in the genre of holiday horror for Easter, and so we knew the marketability, we knew the sellability of it, and Gravitas was just really the perfect fit because they have the ability to put it on so many different platforms. And for me, I feel that film is an exhibition art. So the more that you can get it seen, the better. And they were the company to partner with to do that. So I'm really grateful that we're out on all the platforms that we are, and that people can, enjoy it, and they can throw it on their own television sets and on their phones or whatever. Their iPads, this, that, the other, that they can watch and enjoy with their families. Means a lot to me.
So will we see this film on physical media?
Yes. So the DVD and Blu-ray are coming out, I believe, on April 2nd. So it will be here as soon as you can hop up and down. It is. It'll be in all the retail stores, and right now I believe you can pre-order it if you want the DVD and Blu-ray. People have been reaching out to me and saying, "I've already ordered the Blu-ray." So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my own copy. I like having physical copies of stuff, and I think in particular in this genre, people don't realize horror fans are collectible people, and we like to have stuff. So I love collecting things, and I have a lot of stuff in store ahead for fans of this film that we are going to put out for fans, and it's all going to be collector's items. So I'm looking forward to doing all that.
One more last question. The jackalope design on the back of the jacket. Do you think you can have the artist reach out to me? I want to get that inked on my arm.
Yeah, of course. I would be happy to. Absolutely. I will reach out to Caroline and get the info, because actually she had drawn the sketch. So I know we have it somewhere, because when we were doing it and she had it made, she sent me the sketch and was like, "Do you like this? Will this be the thing?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, it's so badass." So, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see that be a tattoo.
No, I want to do it seriously, because, I did the same thing with Terrifier 2, Lauren Lavero, who played Sienna. I got her, yeah. I was the first to get her character inked on my arm because she was a badass final girl.
Oh, that is so cool. I can't wait to see this. Oh my gosh, that's badass. You have really cool tattoos.
I know. I got one of Creature of Black Lagoon, Swamp Thing, Death from Sandman, Johnny Bravo, of course. And then I got like a werewolf tattoo. And then I'm a Star Wars nerd, so I got Star Wars Rebel Insignia on my leg.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, I love that. I will absolutely get you that design. No doubt about it. And I can't wait to see you do it. That'll be really, really cool.
I want to do it because when I looked on the back of the jacket, I go, "That's badass. I would love to have that inked."
Oh my gosh, you'll have to promise me you'll share it with me when you get it done, okay?
Oh, I definitely will, because I'm due for some more ink anyway.
Okay. Awesome. I love that so much.
So where can everybody find your film Easter Bloody Easter? Of course, the soundtrack. And what are some of your next projects you're doing next, and where can everybody find you on social media?
Yeah, so you can find Easter Bloody Easter on all VOD platforms. So right now you can go to Amazon Prime and YouTube Movies, Google Play, Apple TV. It's there. So anywhere that you like to watch films, or that you can rent or buy a film, that's where you can go and check it out. And then our physical media will be coming out, the DVD and Blu-ray, on April 2nd. The soundtrack you can get, this is really cool. So we're doing a limited edition vinyl record. And that you can get at lbcbadgerrecords.com. The record itself is peep yellow colored. It's really badass. So highly recommend everybody to get your records. It's just such a cool release, and I'm so excited about that. So you can order that right now. They are shipping the very first week of April. So I can't wait to see everybody's like physical copies of that as well. And then definitely please come say hi to me on social media. I love talking to people on social media. I answer all my DMs. I comment back. So please reach out. You can find me at Diane Foster Official on Instagram and Facebook. And then my production company at Wally Bird Productions on Instagram, YouTube, and then you can go to wallybirdproductions.com.
All right. Thank you so much for having the blast with me tonight. To have fun with me tonight. It was cool.
You're so fun, Robin. I really appreciate you. I love the heart and soul that you put into, your show. So thank you so much for having me on. It was a real blast.
All right. And everybody, thank you for listening to Horror Pop After Midnight. Have a great